It is decision day at the University of Southern Indiana. The Screamin' Eagles are now preparing to make the big leap from Division II to Division I. Thank you for joining us. I'm Shelley Kirk. First at 4, the Board of Trustees unanimously votes to apply to go to D1 at this afternoon's meeting. The vote allows follows months of speculation and study. Eyewitness News' Mike Pickett was at today's meeting. He is live at USI for us with the very latest. Mike?
Yeah, Shelley, USI President Dr. Ron Rashan says that the move from Division II to Division I was one of the most significant changes that the university is making. It's also one of the most significant moves they're making since gaining its statewide independence nearly 4 decades ago. Now, so what does this mean? Now, today's vote means that USI will apply to the NCAA for reclassification, and if that's approved, they will start playing in Division I in the fall of 2022. No D1 conference affiliation was announced today. That is going to be announced at a later date. The USI started looking at it this past fall and surveyed students, faculty, and others about a potential move. Now, although it showed that less than half of students and staff surveyed were not supportive of the move, university officials and board members say the advantages outweigh the risks.
Folks are really kind of struggling with what they perceive as cost, for the university and for our student body, and they vocalized that. I think that was an important piece for us to listen to. The trustees were provided all kinds of data, and deliberations that went forward, gave us a better chance to understand that this was an amazing opportunity right now for us to go ahead and move forward.
This move is going to require some additional funding. Student fees are going to be gradually going up during a 4-year period from $60 per semester to as much as $238 in the 2025-26 school year. But donors are already committing $1.5 million towards the reclassification from Division II to Division I. And meanwhile, USI has until June 1st to apply to the NCAA for that reclassification. Live at USI, Mike Pickett, Eyewitness News.
All right, thank you, Mike. And for more perspective on this, let's bring in Eyewitness News Sports Director Randall Parmley. Randall, were you surprised at all by this announcement?
Not at all. I thought this was a move that's been in the making for a couple of years. And just to kind of clarify on something that Mike said about the application process, I don't want to say it's a formality, but it basically is. This is going to happen. They pay a fee, and then they will be moving into D1.
They make the decision. It's done. Pretty much.
The NCAA has to give the final approval. But that's going to happen.
Okay. All right. Well, what about competitiveness? This is more than just basketball. Are they competitive? Can they do this?
Let's talk about, like you said, more than just basketball. In the last 10 years, they've won a national championship in softball, won national championships in baseball. Of course, Bruce Pearl won a national championship in basketball. I think a lot of it is going to come down to what conference they align themselves with. But I think that USI, the pieces are in place to be competitive in pretty much any conference that they choose.
Well, what about conference? I mean, they didn't specify which one. Where do you see them landing?
I think there are 3 conferences that you're going to hear talked about a lot over the next few days. I think it starts with the Ohio Valley Conference. Of course, the LVC plays their tournaments at the Ford Center. Yeah. You're going to hear about the A-Sun. Bellarmine made the transition from D2 to D1 just a few years ago, USI's old rival. They're in the A-Sun. That's a geographical fit. And also the Horizon League. I think those are going to be the big 3 that we're going to hear about a lot over the next couple of days. And another thing to keep in mind, they have to find a fit with a conference that will allow USI to enter without playing football.
Oh, okay, that's true. They don't have a football team at all. What kind of impact do you see the university this having for the university? It's
a huge impact. You want to play. To me, I don't want to be the big fish in the small pond. I'm going to use that analogy. That's what USI has been at the Division II level. Now you have the opportunity to market yourself nationally. Just think what it would mean for the university. We're going to use basketball as an example. To win the OVC conference tournament, possibly at the Ford Center. You're off to the NCAA tournament now. You're going to possibly be playing teams like Kentucky, Duke, North Carolina on national television. That's never happened before to USI. It will take a few years to get there, but the possibility is there now for that to happen.
It just raises the awareness.
It's a huge prestige factor from going from Division I to Division II. Dr. Rashan mentioned that. He wants that name on the national stage. It can be there now.
So are we going to see more USI UE games?
I think we will.
Division I?
Of course, they have played each other sporadically over the years, and A lot of folks say it's a rivalry. It's not been a rivalry in years past because it's been D1 versus D2.
Right.
Now you have two D2 teams playing for basically bragging rights in the same city. I think you're going to have to see this game played on almost, I would think, a yearly, biannual level on basically every sport.
All right, well, it's going to take several years for this to all play out.
A 4-year transition, let's keep that in mind. Just because USI goes D1 and they start playing D1 next year, they have to go through a 4-year transition period, meaning they're not eligible to play for any national championships, anything in the NCAA tournament for 4 years.
All right, well, it's going to be exciting to watch them grow, see what happens here. I know you'll have more for us coming up at 6 o'clock tonight.
At 6 o'clock, we'll be live out on the west side at USI Arena. We'll be talking to Athletic Director John Markall.
Great.
He'll break it down a little bit more, much more than I will be able to.
Well, you did a great job. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, thanks, Randall.